What's going on, guys? I'm going to show you how to make a multi-shot airsoft shotgun using a simple Nerf gun. What we're going to need is some BBs. I like to use .12s because they go farther. We're going to need a round. These come with the busbee blasters. This is really important to the shotgun, so make sure you have one of these. Next, we're going to need a dart of some kind. I like to use these. These are Nerf darts just because they have a little bit more weight in them, and we're going to cut them down. Also, you're just going to need some one-sided simple tape. Find this almost anywhere. And finally, you're going to need a small knife, some pliers, something such as a relatively strong pen or a screwdriver, something that can take a lot of force. Because we're going to be taking this and putting it in the back of the shell so we can modify it. Alright, so to start off, we're going to take our shell, and we're going to take our screwdriver or pen or whatever you're going to be using. And this is actually going to require a good deal of force. So we're going to stick it in, and then we're going to apply a great deal of pressure. It's roughly like 50 newtons to break it. And the end result is going to look something like this. So you can see that the restrictor is gone, and now we can stick things in there of various sizes. I find if you're really having issues getting pressure on it, mostly because you can't stick it on a surface, just take some pliers and just twist the restrictor until the tip breaks off, just like that. That's really going to help you out because now you can stick it on like a table and you can really apply some more pressure onto it. Instead of holding it from two sides, you just do it from one. Have like the other side on the table or whatnot. So next we're going to take our round here and we're going to take our knife. Or in this case I'm actually going to use scissors. And I'm just going to snip the tip off. And you should get something like this. If you use the correct round, you'll see that little stopper in the top, and that's going to make sure that you still get a good air seal and you're still going to get pressure from the gun, because if not, it's just all going to fall through. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut it to proper length. This will ensure that, because if you can see right here, it's kind of weird because you have a certain diameter on the top, and then as you go down into the shell, the diameter actually gets larger. And that's an issue because if the round's too small, it's not going to be able to get out, and it's going to stuck on the sides. So for this size, as you can see here, it's roughly 3 centimeters. Let me see if I can show you that. It looks like 1 1/16 inch. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. 1 1/16 inch. Or if you're metric, just say 3 centimeters. It's a lot easier to remember. It's a good length to cut it to, so just go for 3. And then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to disable the air restrictor on these shells. I've already done it in this case, but I'll show you what to do. There's just going to be a little spring on the bottom, and you're just going to go and grab it with your pliers or try and get it with the pen or screwdriver, and you're just going to pull it out. It's actually really simple. It just comes out. You don't have to save it. And then that way the air restrictor is disabled. We can really get that round in there. And as you can see, it's flush with the smaller diameter. Then we're just going to put our BBs in, and as you can see, it kind of forms almost like a triangle. I mean, it will naturally do this. That's basically one tier of rounds. And we can go from 3, add 6, and then we can top it off if we want, and we'll put 9 rounds down. Finally, we're going to want to make sure this don't fall out. So we're going to grab the masking tape. Mine's broken. I'm going to take a small piece of tape and just stick it over the top. And this is not only going to help us keep our BBs from falling out, but the round's going to be much tighter inside the gun, so when we go to eject the shell's not going to go flying out, so we can actually save our shells instead of losing them in the field. And then we're just going to take our knife, and this is actually really important, and we're going to make some small slits on the top. We're not going to make sure we break it entirely. We just want some little slits so it breaks apart much easier, and that's going to give it less energy to break through, and more energy is going to transfer into the BBs. And then after that, as long as the rounds are still staying, you're good to go. Now for testing this round, I'm going to be using the busbee gunsmoke. This gun's really cheap. It's around $10. And it's got this little thing in the front where it smokes if you shoot it. I guess it kind of adds to realism. I don't know. I'm not going to use it because it's supposed to smell acrid, which is really bad. So we're just going to take our round. Just going to load it up. Really hard to do in the camera. There we go. Just going to load the round in. Just close it, then we're good to go. Let's go test this. All results were achieved using .12s. Now if you've taped it correctly, you'll notice that when you take out the round, the slug is still in there. That's going to make it much easier to reload it. Now all we have to do is we have to put the slug back in. Make sure it's down all the way. Put our BBs back in the triangle fashion we did earlier, and you can put however many rounds you want back in. You can go anywhere from 3 to 9. Depending on how much you put in, it will really affect the range. Now just take the tape, pull it over the top BBs, and make sure it sticks. Internet science doesn't need to remind you to like, favorite, and subscribe. But you're too smart for that, aren't you?